Hey guys, it's Sami.
And Sami, and welcome to Transform, your safe space to form the best version of you.
There are going to be a lot of laughs and oh boy, a lot of tears.
But we are so grateful to be alongside you in your journey to transform.
Ooh, here we go.
Let's do it. We're so excited to spend this next hour with you guys. And as everyone's coming in, really just want to share the intention of today's chat being so much to see you guys, hear from you, and really wanting to spend so much time on the Q&A that we have after Sam and I chit chat for a little bit. So if you do have any questions, we are so here and so excited to chat more with you and can't wait to hear from you. And we figured to start off, it would be so intentional to just take a breath together after what has been such a big work week. And of course, Sami Clarke herself wants to lead that one. So we're all going to get spoiled rotten in a little Sami Clarke meditation to start us off.
Yay, guys. I'm so excited that Sam and I are doing this. This is our first experience actually doing this together, which is really special. We obviously do the podcast every week, but to do this with all of you, we're just so grateful to spend time with you. And like Sam said, the intention here is to really just talk about the dream of next year, the journal that we're super excited about, and then end with a Q&A. So very excited, but before we get started, everyone, I know there's a lot going on. It's a Friday, who knows what's going on in your world. I want us to just get a little bit grounded and connect together because this is so powerful that all of us have shown up together. So if you're seated, wherever you're at, if you can put your feet just on the ground and just allow yourself to get a little bit more settled, a little bit more still. And just exhale a breath out. I know everyone's muted, so just let it go and let the shoulders just shrug down. Maybe your neck starts to open up, whatever your body wants to do. I want you just to let it move or get any of those kinks out, or maybe it needs like a nice hand on heart, whatever feels good. And if you feel comfortable, you can close down those eyes and just meet me here. I want us to take a 3-count inhale, and then we're going to hold for 3 and then exhale for 3. This is a powerful regulating tool to get into our bodies and let the mind chatter start to keep going, but we're tapping in to this moment now. So inhaling deep belly breath for 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, one more time, breathe it in, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3. And letting that exhale come all the way out and keeping those eyes closed. Just thanking your breath for being there, connecting to where it is in your body. Feeling any softness in the body. Maybe your shoulders started to relax. Maybe you took a nice big breath. Just witnessing the body that you're in now. The to-do list, the where you have to be, everything else you need to get done. Just allowing that to be on pause and being with yourself in this divine moment with us. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can gently open those eyes. Find yourself back in the room. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks, Sam. That was so nice. Group nap time. What we all came for. I love it. I love it. Guys, I can't believe that 2025 is basically over. So if you want to start brainstorming your word for the year, Sam and I picked ours and they're really good ones. I'm really excited.
I feel like we should share.
We can share. Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, I feel like when you pick your word, it's inspiring to say it out loud and talk about it. So my beautiful word, and I feel like I like to give context before, I guide you guys in a future visualization in the podcast. And this is how I connected to my word, which is really exciting. And in the future self visualization, I saw my dream life. Like I saw everything that I could imagine. And I remember when I was in the visualization, I was like, oh shit, like that is almost so scary. It's so big. Like, I don't think I can get there. And I started to feel this disconnect. And then I asked the future self to share with you the message that you were meant to receive. And she shared with me to believe, like believe that this is possible, believe that you are worthy, believe that you can have everything that you dream of in this life that you just saw. You need to believe. And it hit me so hard. And now my word for 2026 is believe. And I'm here to believe for all of you guys too, and really excited to take that into the new year.
I love seeing that other people are picking believe as well. I love that so much. Okay, so when I was thinking about my word, I always put like this pressure on myself because I feel like I've had really good words every year. And so last year it was trust for this past year, and I leaned into that in so many ways. I trusted myself, I trusted the universe, I trusted my body, and everything that's come up in 2025 has been such a beautiful blessing of that trust. And going into 2026, I'm sorry if you hear Bagel and Logs, Ange just got home, classic, they're saying hello. For 2026, I feel like my biggest theme is going to be motherhood and just so much newness there. And for any new moms in the group, I am right here with you. For any current moms in the group, I know we've got Kristen and a few others that I recognize in here for all the love and support and advice and links and all the things. And I was thinking of how I want to be with myself, with baby girl, with my friends, my family, what we get to do every day with Form. And the first word that came up was present. Like I just wanted to be present. And then I really sat with that because it felt good, but it didn't feel like it was it yet. And the missing link for me was actually that I wanted to connect. I didn't just want to be there and be present. I wanted to deeply connect in that present moment. So my word for 2026 is connect, and I'm so excited to continue to connect to myself, to connect to my future daughter, to connect to all of you, to connect to everything around me. And I really love that this word for me does mean something more than just being there, because I think I have done the work of how to be so present and be here now, like be where my feet are. But once you are where your feet are, what are you going to do to deepen that? So I'm excited to connect in 2026. In our episode, we also chat a lot about what we're leaving behind in 2025. We chat so much about how to really understand your starting point of where you are right now to achieve all your biggest goals for 2025. And we go through your physical health, your mental health, your career, self-love. Sam, what's the fifth one that I'm missing?
Mental health, yeah.
Mental health, physical health, career, self-love.
Self-love.
I think that's
relationships.
Relationships. There she goes. See, one brain. Same name, one brain. It is so good, guys. We cannot wait for you to listen on the 24th. Give us your word. Tell us your thoughts. We cannot wait. And when we look back at 2025 too, there's so much to celebrate. And we're so grateful to you for being a part of the Form Fam so that we get to do what we get to do. I mean, we've had monthly activewear drops. We've had new trainers join the program. Shout out to Grace. Let us know if you've been loving working out with Miss Grace. We have had so much programming and just pouring our heart and soul into so much for you guys this year. And the biggest thing that we are so excited to chat about on our fam Zoom today is this beauty right here. Has anyone purchased the practice yet? Let us know in the chat. This has been such a labor of love and truly something that Sam and I needed. Like everything we create for you guys is not just this thought. It is truly like the entire world telling us like you have to do this now. And there's no way that we couldn't have written this for both you and us, because our hands were getting sore writing out our prompts every single day. But so excited to chat about the practice with you all today. And we figured we could start off with just what journaling means to us and how it really has changed our lives.
Yeah, we're so excited. Thank you for everyone who has, dove into the practice and got theirs. I think like anything, journaling, meditating, all these tools, it's you figuring out what works for you. And for myself, journaling started, almost 8 years ago. And I believe it was Lauren Bostic who actually introed me into some prompt. It was like a very basic one, but I was at a place in my life where I really wanted to have bigger dreams and like up level, but I did not know how to do it. And meditation, I didn't connect to then. It felt kind of what we've spoken to, this intimidating thing. And I was moving my body a lot, and I decided to try journaling. And I started with very basic prompts. And what I started to see when I started with the prompts was I was starting to get to know myself. I was starting to figure out what I liked, what I don't like. I figured out who or how gratitude felt in my body. I figured out what my dreams were and how to actually create action steps. And as I started to do these prompts, if you guys have dove into our old journal, which was our first ever journal, that was really an expression of kind of the simplicity of really basic journal prompts to get started. And those have been such a game changer, and absolutely have loved those prompts so much, and they've taken me so far. Obviously, since 8 years ago, have grown so much. And within the work that Sam and I do and talk on Transform, going to the Hoffman, just being in this journey of life, there's so many questions that are so pivotal for you to actually connect with self. And we were so determined to understand what those prompts were to actually allow us to create this relationship. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all doing. We have a relationship with ourselves, and that takes time, that takes curiosity, that takes stillness, that takes questions, that takes being present with ourselves. And so Sam and I just were doing our own journal prompts. We were sharing with each other, and we started to nurture all of these prompts together and realize this is exactly how we can actually create the best routine for everyone. And again, we've been doing it now for a year and really making sure it's the most yummy. But it is a way for you guys. I'm so excited to put a practice into place that you will actually be able to start being curious about yourself, start to learn about yourself. And for me, with the season of 2025, which has been a hell of a freaking year, this has allowed me to feel grounded within so much that's going on, right? When we start to feel things, it's important for us to ask ourselves, what emotion am I feeling today, and how can I be supportive? What's in my mind, what's going on there, and how can I actually take steps to support myself? How's my body doing? These are all questions we ask everyone else around us, but we forget to ask ourselves. And it is so important we give ourselves this time. In this journal, the practice is exactly that. It is the time for you to have that one-on-one moment with yourself so you can feel good and then end up feeling good for everyone else. So journaling is my passion. I'm so passionate about it. We also, I know we're going to dive into it, but we have a free your mind energy too on the pages where you get to also just explode and let yourself express. And expression is such a huge form of letting energy and emotion and old stuff be gone. And that's a huge resource that I'm excited for you guys to lean into as well within the practice. So I can't say enough about it. It's changed my life, and I crave it, and I feel the difference when I haven't asked myself those questions or when I haven't tapped in and reflected and gotten grounded.
Yeah, the difference once you spend that time with self, especially to start your day. Sam and I both journal first thing in the morning. It changes the rhythm of the rest of your day. It changes the energy that you bring into the rest of your day. And for any of you who know me in any shape or form, I am so type A. I am so organized, and I have lived such a fast-paced life. And honestly, it's something I took so much pride in. And being Sammy's best friend and doing all that we get to do with Form, I've always heard her talk about journaling. I used our old Form journal, but I never made it into a habit. And this year, I went to Hoffman at the top of 2025 in January, and it showed me the sweetness of slowing down. And if you can relate to anything I'm saying, if your life feels busy, 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 and you think that's productive, let me just tell you, you're the one that needs journaling most. Like, that was me to a T. I literally would wake up and email people. Like, before I'd even brush my teeth, I was sending out a deal. It was not okay. I was not okay. You know, like, you gotta check in with self. And I feel like so many of us are trying to be our best, most productive selves, but you can't be productive if you're not in your body, if you're not connected to self, because everything is coming from a place of not who you actually can be at your highest potential. So Hoffman slowed me down in the biggest way. And I remember after that, even when I got back home and I was integrating my day-to-day, my email notifications were now off. I woke up and my phone at that point was sleeping downstairs. She still has not slept in my room yet. She sleeps in the bathroom now, and she'll not enter.
She's a she.
Oh yeah, she's a she. She's a bossy she. Yeah, so I spend every morning with myself in a way where I get to check in and actually see what's going on. And then I can pour into my day. And you know what? It's allowed me to be way more productive, and it's allowed me to really understand me in a way that I didn't before. And that connection seriously lies in this book. Something that you get to do every single morning, that time that you pour into you before you're pouring into your family, your job, the rest of what this world has. That's the priority here. And if you take nothing else from this call, please know how much we want you to prioritize you, because that's where you change your life, and you deserve it. And we all deserve that going into this new year too. So that's something Sam and I are absolutely calling in and going to absolutely be maintaining, and something that really did change my life this past year. So when it comes to the practice, I mean, even like the brown linen of it all, the gold foil. We had so much fun designing this for you. And we're excited to tap into all the prompts. And if you do have any questions specifically while we're going through, feel free to put them in the chat. And then once we go through all of the prompts, we'll also move to a wide open Q&A that's about anything and everything on your hearts. We're here because we love you and we're just so grateful for you. So we're excited to tap into all that the practice has and welcome any chats. Okay, I already see some questions coming in here. We'll start by explaining the prompts. So in terms of how long the journal takes in the morning, I feel like if you're doing it really quickly, Sam, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it could also be like closer to 20 or 30, depending on how long you want to sit with it. It really is something that is doable. And I think that's the beauty of everything we do with form. Like, you will not find a workout longer than 30 minutes because we know how precious time is and how effective we want to be. So at the start, Sam, do you want to take us through look back?
I'd love to. And I feel like I just want to say to remember that it is time for you to choose yourself. Like, we're going into 2026. Like Sam said, that this is a tool that is allowing you to pour into yourself first. And when that voice comes in of like feeling selfish or spending that time with yourself, like that isn't worthy time, you guys, it is so time. It is so time for you to choose yourself, be with yourself, get to know yourself. Like, it is time you are in your body, and we are now having these resources and tools and time to actually be able to do so. So I'm just like holding your hand through this and want you to know it is absolutely the time to dive into whatever tool feels good. And I hope that this is one of them. So as far as look back, here's the thing. We can't know where we're going if we actually haven't reflected on where we've been. And looking back is, first off, the reason that Sam and I did this is because it's really important to reflect on your day. But we didn't want it to be at the night because not a lot of people also have a journaling night routine. Like, that's just extensive. So we decided to have it at the top where you can look back and you can reflect on the day before, but you'll do it in the morning. So the look back already at the top is going to say reflect on yesterday. And this is a moment for you to really think about the day. And like Sam said, it could be 10 minutes or 30. And I encourage you to really tap into the day, not like, start to just like flutter the words and just kind of go through the motions on autopilot. Like, this is the time for you to connect and say, what yesterday did I do that like filled my cup? Or what yesterday is like a moment that I should call out, that if I looked back at my journal, I would want to remember that moment. And so that's a moment where you just look back at yesterday, 2 lines, 3 lines of a reflection. Then you're going to go into one thing I learned. This is what's so powerful, is you're actually reflecting on that day and not just letting another day come. You're realizing, what is something in that day that I learned? I learned that I need to organize my schedule better because I was a little overwhelmed yesterday and I kind of had a fit with my partner. And one thing I learned is like, don't have back-to-back meetings. Like, whatever it is for you, but the only way you grow is if you reflect and know where you've been. So that is one thing that I learned from yesterday. And again, it's taking that pause, having a moment, really reflecting on what is something that I learned yesterday. Then you'll go into one thing I am proud of. This one I love so much because for me, and this was a big Hoffman thing too, my brain loves to focus on everything that's gone wrong. It's like, what happened that went wrong? What meeting went not right? What did I feel yesterday that feels icky? And the one thing I am proud of allows you to actually understand there was a full 24 hours. There has to be something in there that was freaking awesome. There has to be something in there that you absolutely crush, but you have to recognize it. You have to allow your mind and your body to feel it, to see it, to understand that that was amazing. So just like you compliment your friends, just like you compliment your coworkers and you say, I'm so proud of you for doing that, you need to give that to yourself. So you'll reflect and do one thing I am proud of yesterday. So for example, it could be, one thing I'm proud of is that I wasn't reactive and I actually paused and I stepped away from a conversation and then I responded. Or I asked my manager for, a raise and he said no, but I'm really proud of myself that I did it. Like, whatever it is, you are starting that conversation and reflecting on the day before and recognizing actually a lot of the things that you're doing so right, that are going so for you. So that is the look back section.
One thing that I love so much about the look back section is that it really allows you to reframe all of those negative thoughts, those patterns that I see so many of us share. It allows you to really reframe them, to see them in the most positive light. So what I've realized when I go through, I reflect on yesterday, and exactly to Sam's point, I share all the shit. Like, I share the tea. I'm like, this happened, that happened. I felt this type of way about that type of person. And then what did I learn? Oh, wait, okay, we're shifting. And then we get to one thing I'm proud of. Wow, I communicated my needs. I communicated my worth. And when we tell ourselves what we're proud of, what's actually changing is that we don't require external validation anymore. When you can be your biggest cheerleader, you're not looking at everyone around you to tell you how proud they are of you as much. So once you've looked back, then you get to look in. One of the biggest reasons that I literally could not meditate or journal was because I was so overwhelmed by myself. And I think we sit down and we're like, okay, I'm just sitting in silence. I have my whole to-do list in my brain. Where do I begin? So looking in can be really intimidating. And that is why we have different sections here. So within Look In, we actually broke it up into 4 different sections. So for Look In, you have your body, you have your mind, you have your inner child, which we cannot forget about, and then you have your highest self. And we really needed to have this different setup because looking in and just having this generic one self doesn't pay the attention or the love to all the different parts of us. So specific to body, the first prompt is, what does my body need today? And then it's followed up with, how can I support myself through movement, nutrition, and rest? And for me, doing that at the top of the day, the fact that I get to choose, okay, today I'm gonna do a 30-minute walk with my husband and my dogs, then I'm gonna do one of Sami's strength workouts for another 30 minutes. And then when it comes to nutrition, I'm really craving my chicken plate as always, because that doesn't change. But then you know what, for dinner, I'm going all out and I'm gonna start dreaming up what that's gonna look like. For rest, I want to be in bed by 9 latest. We can actually plan, because when you don't have a plan, it won't happen. And I think all of us on this call know that. Then once you've given your body love, you get to focus on your mind. This question in itself is usually where the tea is spilled. What is taking up space in my mind right now? This is my shit list, always. This is, all right, I need curtains for my nursery. I need to have this call with this person. I need to get my back right tire fixed on my car. This stuff that takes up space in our mind is where our energy is going. And when it's just there lingering, you can't get to the next step for mine, which is, what is one step I can take to action that? So once you have that list going, then you can make the action steps. Okay, your body.
Can I say an example real quick to that one? Because it hit me so hard the other day.
Go.
So when I, like Sam said, you're listing that shit list. When I was like starting to put on everything that I was thinking about, like what was taking up my mind space, I was like, oh God, this is a lot there. And then when I said, what's the action? Literally the action was like, be here now. Because everything I was thinking about was from the past or was from the future. And literally the action step that came through is, can you be in the present? Like that is all past stuff and that is all future thoughts. Like best thing you could do right now is just take a breath and be in the present. And I wouldn't have been able to do that unless I answered these questions. So I just want to call that one out. It hit me the other day really hard.
I love that so much. I'm also seeing some questions here of, if you can do this not in the morning, because I totally hear you. If you don't go to your workout immediately, it's not gonna happen. This is your practice. That's literally why we called it the practice. This is exactly what you want it to be for you. And the beautiful thing about practice is you get to pick it up and continue to build that muscle. So crush your workout and then pick up the practice and see how that feels. Or maybe it's the first thing you do when you get to your desk. It's up to you. It's your practice. So after mind, we get to inner child. The inner child is something that Sam and I are both very, very passionate about, because all of the beautiful women on this call have a younger version of themselves who still needs love. And when I prioritize my days around my inner child, I am my best self. When I am considering her and what she wants, I am absolutely my best self. So our prompts for inner child are, what feeling from childhood can I let myself feel today? So less of a thing and more of a feeling. What's something that you felt in your childhood? Maybe it's safety. That was mine today. So then our next prompt is, what simple comfort would make me feel safe right now? For me, that was calling my dad. As soon as I needed that safety, that's the call I made. But maybe your feeling from childhood that you wanted to feel was free. So in terms of that simple comfort, maybe you're going to the park and just running around. Who knows? Whatever that feels like. Maybe you're going for a drive and putting all the windows down and sticking your hand out the window. Like, there's so many things that we get to feel as a kid that we then stop ourselves from feeling just because we had to grow up. So this is where you get to tap in to that younger self. The last part of the quadrinity here within Look In is highest self. I think this is the most important. This is where I feel the biggest shift. The first prompt within highest self is to describe your highest self. I love to use adjectives that I dream of. I'll literally write goddess, beautiful, confident, loving, self-loving, bold. I mean, you name it. How I want to dream of describing myself is what I write here. And then it's followed by the prompt, how am I showing up as my highest self today? So what are those adjectives in action? And honestly, what happens while you're sitting there journaling is you start to kind of change your posture, right? You start to notice things. Maybe you take a drink of water because your highest self is a hydrated queen. Maybe you make eye contact with someone because you're at the office and you smile really big because your highest self is very caring. Your highest self is truly who you are, but putting in the work and the effort to get there and to feel her, then you get to take her on. Sam, I'll pass to you for the end of Lookin'.
Amazing. Okay, the end of Lookin', I'm also cracking up at someone saying to make this so you could use it in the shower. I know, you can go out in the shower. The next one, which is so important, so important, and this is actually 2 prompts from our original journal. And the first one is I'm grateful for. And y'all know how much Sam and I practice gratitude and how important it is to not miss this prompt and to allow yourself to really feel this prompt. And I encourage you, because we can all, kind of say the same things, right? You can be on that autopilot of, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for my friend, I'm grateful for coffee. And I am someone who does that. To actually ask yourself, I am grateful for, and there's 3. And every single day encouraging yourself of what are you grateful for right now in this moment? Are you grateful for, your body being able to move? Are you grateful that you have a village around you of people who care about you? Like, go there, really feel it. And I would encourage you to place your hand on your heart and feel what's going good. Feel how blessed you are in so many ways. And allow that gratitude to just sink into the body. There is so much neuroscience about what gratitude does for our mental health. And so I really, really encourage you to lean into this prompt. Then we have a similar prompt too. Our last one was sending love to. So the best way we can also really tap into our most embodied self and our most feeling like our highest self is by actually giving back. And so being able to pause and send love to someone, and it could be to any degree. For me, it's always a voice note or a text. And I always like to connect to the person that comes to my heart first. And sometimes, you guys, it's going to be really random. It's going to be that friend from high school you haven't spoke to in a year. But if it's a download coming through of this person is so in my heart, I promise you listen to it and they're going to be wait, that's so crazy. I was just thinking about you. This message means the absolute world. Or maybe there's someone who, is battling something in their life and you think about them, and just being able to send them a message and let them know that you are thinking about them, it will change their life and it will also change yours. So this is a really massive one that's so impactful in the routine. Lastly is look forward. So look forward is really setting the intentions. Now we're really thinking about our future. So we've tapped in to look back, we've reflected, then we're looking in, so we got into the present moment, but let's also look forward. Looking forward, the first prompt is my intention for the day. We speak so much about intentions, and here is why. When you wake up, if you don't set the tone of who you're going to be or what your intention is to enter into the day is going to move and you're just going to flow with it in a way where you didn't allow yourself to intentionally think about who you want to be today. I love to think about my schedule. I love to think about the day ahead. Obviously, many life things will happen, but based on my schedule, who do I want to show up as? Who is this girl? And to allow yourself to think about the intention will create, I'm telling you, so much goodness. I remember when I started playing with my intentions, it was a trip I was going to Hawaii with all my girlfriends. And it was a girls' trip we take every year. And I was that friend who said, everyone, let's set intentions of what we want this trip to be for us. And after they rolled their eyes and then they did it, we all shared our intention, and everyone's was so different. Some was play, some was, have really deep conversations, but everyone fulfilled their intention because they said it out loud and it found them. So I'm really excited about my intention of the day that creates this future self energy. Then we go into, does my schedule reflect my priorities? And there's a yes, mostly or no. This is so important because obviously there's some days that are easier than others of like trying to align your priorities, but you have to look at your schedule and see, okay, does my schedule actually reflect what's important to me? Say an importance to you was to focus on your physical health. And then you look at your schedule and there is zero movement. There's not a walk. There's not, even rest, whatever you need that day or a workout. That is where you can take note of this is not lining up and how and what do I need to move to actually make this schedule align with my priorities. And that's the next question. What do I need to shift? This could be also if you wake up and you're feeling like you need a break, you need a pause, you can tell that your day is really packed and you're realizing you need a little bit more self-love and self-time. Where in there can you shift even for a 5-minute walk to match the energy that you need today? And finally, to finish it off is an affirmation of I am. And this is just a powerful, powerful way where you can write what you need in that day. I am worthy, I am strong, and you can write it, repeat it, believe it, and end your journaling routine.
And that is the practice. And it's the practice you get to come back to in whatever way works for you. I loved a question that I saw of where we like to journal. I personally love to do it outside. I am all about being outside, and it's something that just brings me a lot of joy to be able to do while listening to birds chirp, having bagel and lox on the couch with me. Sam, I feel like you love doing it by your fireplace, but looking at your ocean view, which if I had an ocean, I'd look at that too.
Yes, that is my favorite spot. Yeah. I think creating your little energy of where is your time that you feel like you'll be most energized, not disturbed. Create your space. Create your little,
And Atomic Habits, if you've read that, if you see it, you do it, right? So that's why we made her really pretty, because you could just leave her out and she's so aesthetically beautiful. So when you see it, you do it. So I keep it right there on the couch, the corner of the couch where I open the door to go outside to journal every morning. And I make it a ritual, and I habit stack with my protein shake that I'm having every morning, or maybe it's your coffee, whatever that looks like. Make that into your routine and bring that into your practice. I am so grateful you guys are all still here. This is so fun. And we want to have a fun Q&A. So here for all the journal questions. We're here for literally anything. If you want to know what we had for lunch today, that's a great question too. But feel free to just shoot it out. I don't know if you can raise your hand.
Yeah, I think that there's a raise your hand button on Zoom. So if you guys want to hit that, because then it'll line it up and we can start clicking on people.
Oh yeah, Allie. I see Allie has a hand.
Yeah,
hi,
so let's
guys.
start with Allie.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, hi Allie.
Okay, nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for this. I'm super excited and really helpful. And I just ordered the practice, so I'm excited to get started. Wanted to just first say I have so much admiration and gratitude for what you have built. Not only obviously the workouts and the apparel, but also the community. We just had the Minnesota get together here in last weekend, and it was just great to connect. So thank you for what you've built. My question is more around the practice. I'm newer to journaling, and so wanted to just understand if you have any tips around how to make it come more naturally. I'm guessing that when I start, these prompts are a great way to start, but I'm guessing the brain will be a little bit how do I get deeper and not so awkward in that first transition? So just curious if you have any tips or tricks on when you went through that process, how to make it more natural over time.
Yeah, I think right away what comes through is we, and me included, want to be good at things right away, right? I want to just show up and be good at it. But we know, anything that we start, it does take that practice. Hence why this is also called the practice, because there's nothing about this that's meant to be perfect. And I think perfection can stop us from showing up. So I would encourage you to show up exactly as you are. know that every single day with you setting the intention of, I want to get to know myself, I want to be closer to myself, like understand your why, which actually is at the beginning of the journal. It asks you that. If you show up with that, you will start to see, maybe in the beginning, you're trying to define the difference between who's speaking, what's going on, but you'll start to feel as you continue doing the practice, you're going to start to define whose voices are whose, especially with us asking the body, the mind, the inner child. You're starting to really connect with all the different, channels within yourself. But you'll start to, all of a sudden, you won't even be like, oh, I can't believe I once was there, because now I'm all the way over here. So just know and trust that by you already just showing up, that is more than enough. And just remember, when you're showing up, it's not about perfection. It's just about you intentionally saying, I want to build this relationship with myself.
What she said.
Thank you so much. So helpful. Yeah. Retweet. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Allie. Catalina.
Hi guys. Thanks so much for doing this. It's literally like so awesome to have and just to like connect with the community and with you guys. It's so inspiring. I feel like I feel like there are times in like everyone's life where it's like more grind set, or where you're more like scattered with like hands and like lots of things, whether you're starting to like, I don't know, grow your business, or I'm a college student, so I'm like all the classes, have the job, social life. Like it feels like my energy is sometimes scattered in lots of places, and I want to put equal amounts of like energy and intention into all the things that I love. But sometimes I struggle with doing that, and I feel like I'm just like moving through the motions, and then I like can't put all of it, like all my energy into all the things. So what would your advice be for that, to like still move with intention even through maybe like the busier seasons of your life?
I love this question so much, and Sam and I were just talking about this yesterday at length, so please know we are right there with you, girl. I always feel like when I'm coming to a place where I'm very overextended, I get very overwhelmed. When I've said yes to too much, I'm operating from this place of pressure to get it all done versus the piece of, wow, like I get to do this. I get to join this meeting. I get to go to coffee with this friend. I get to be in this class. I get to go home for the holidays. Like even going on vacation right now is stressing me out because I feel overextended. So I feel you, Catalina. I think that it's looking at what you've said yes to, and actually with so much heart in it, figuring out what the real yeses are and creating white space in your life. Because when we're trying to be everything for everyone and doing it all, doing the most is the least productive thing we can ever say yes to. So I would say figure out where you can create white space. Sam and I like to call this pen twirling time, where you can literally just be. There's a reason why you have these big unlocks when you're in the shower, or maybe when you go for a walk, or when you're gardening or doing these little activities, because when we're always sitting and forcing and operating from a place of pressure of doing the most, our brain isn't actually thinking clearly. So you need to figure out how you can create white space in your life. And what my best guess is that you're gonna have to start saying no and allowing yourself to actually say no. And our favorite way to say no is with the why, right? Not just being like, nope, can't go to your Secret Santa. It's, no, I actually would love to be at your Secret Santa, but I've committed to taking this many classes this semester and I wanna crush them. So would love to find a time, give them the option in that way. And do it with love, because at the end of the day, you've got to prioritize you to live your best life. And again, we're so right here with you. Thanks for that question, Catalina. All right, Miss Becky, we miss you. We saw Becky in October.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I'm so happy to be on this call. Hopefully I'm at an Airbnb and there's like construction, so I don't know if you guys can hear it, but hopefully you will. Thank you for this, and thank you for demystifying journaling. Also, I think like it's one of those things that everybody talks about, but it's so hard to know like how to do it. And I actually started doing it more regularly at the beginning of November, thanks to Matt Meetup. So Emma and Katie were asking us, what our intentions were. And I was like, I really need to start doing this more. So I have been doing it. It really is a practice, right? It's really a routine. So I guess my question is, when you've been doing it for a long time, how do you reflect back? Like, do you go back and read through anything? Does that help you with a new year? So I don't know, maybe Sami Clarke has done it longer. Or do you have any thoughts around that, of how that helps you then moving forward?
Yeah, I guess my question, Becky, to that is your question because you're just curious of how to utilize what you've written?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's kind of like, if you do this for, years, like it's only been a few months for me, but if you continue to do it, is there ways, or maybe it's not, maybe it's just a daily thing and you don't look back, but I'm just so curious if you do look back and how you use that if you do.
I love that. So the reason I ask is because obviously it's so personal, right? It's like, if there is a reason that is like pinging in your brain, I would encourage you to, set a date in your calendar of you reflecting and tapping back. Personally, I don't look back. I would say, I know many people who do, but for me, it's such a present thing. So it's a present thing of reflecting back and growing rather than me needing to go back a year from now and really see. But I would say it's so personal. And if it's pinging on your heart, I would put it in your calendar every quarter or every year. At the end of the year, go reflect. It will be pretty incredible to see where you have been. I mean, I know that I do that for my, manifestations or my visualizations or things that I've written out that I want. That list I go back to and see what I actually did do. So I'm excited for you to, if that's a ping for you, I put it in the calendar and see how much growth you have done by reflecting back.
Thank you. Love you guys so much.
Love you, Becky. I personally do get curious. Like, I am one that does look back. It's almost like reading your own diary in a way. But I wanted to share, I had a moment recently where, in my pregnancy journey even, I was thinking how I felt during a certain phase where I was kind of working through some hard news that we got. That's all great now. But I went back because I knew the date that we got the news, and rereading that journal is almost like that inner child of giving compassion to your younger self, even if this was 3 months ago. So it is a beautiful tool to really tap into where you've been and where you're going. And as Sam said, the intention is to be present, but I also do find that it's such a tool that tells a story of all of the highs and lows of life.
Awesome. Thank you.
Kristen, how we doing?
Hello. I'm in a rocking chair, so if I'm moving a lot, that's why. I have a lot of questions, and thank you for doing this. Of course, this is epic. I always feel like I have the string on my heart is pounding out. It's hitting the wall right now. I'm curious for the both of you though, I think when you come into a new year, you kind of start to think of, how you want your year to look and everything, but just more at a personal level. Obviously there's been some big life changes and all that, and you never really know what's next, but I'd be curious in what ways you're going to kind of step out of your comfort zones, in the new year, coming into 2026.
I love that question. Sam, you go.
Let me go first. I need to think.
Okay, let's see what hits. I actually have journaled about this very question because I'm sure some of you have heard me say your comfort zone is where your dreams die. And I always want to be living to my highest potential. And I'm sure we can all relate to that feeling of operating from our comfort zone. It feels like you're in autopilot, you're good. You can show up and be your best self without really having to do much. But what's taking you that extra mile? Kristen, I'm sure you can guess that, becoming a mom is something that I have been praying for, putting so much love into for so long. And when I was thinking about this question of what is going to get me out of my comfort zone, that was number one on that list of taking on such a new role in such a big way. And also doing the work that I need to do for me to be able to get there to a place where I felt so ready. So I'm really proud of myself for having done that work, and I'm so excited to see how motherhood challenges me, changes me, refines me, stretches me, grows me. And it's interesting because I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, but it's definitely something that doesn't feel like anything I've ever done before. So I'm really excited for how that's gonna feel. Thanks for that question. Sam, what's your answer? I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too. I haven't thought about it at all. So right now, love the question, Kristen. When it comes to mind, right away it goes with my word, believe. And I think the way that I'm going to challenge myself is to actually dream far bigger than I could ever dream of. I think that this year was a lot of stripping and a lot of like getting back into my body and feeling safe in my body and making the choices and decisions to align with myself, that I feel so ready and capacity wise have gained such a capacity to be able to go bigger than I ever thought I could. And this year wasn't about that for me. This year was like feeling safe. And so dreaming that big was actually too overwhelming for my system. And so now being in this place and doing all of this work from this year, praise Jesus, this next year and this challenge is really for me, like when I have a dream, like when I did the future self visualization, like I mentioned, I say in there to dream even bigger. Like your mind goes to a dream, but then I'm like, take it a step further. And when I took it a step further, you guys, I was like, holy shit, that's for me. And that's what my challenge is to like, there's a safe dream and I want to go above the safe dream.
Thank you. Sorry if it threw you for a little bit.
I love it. I love it. It was good.
All right, Noelle. Last question here with Noelle.
Hi guys, I'm so happy to be here. Last time I saw you guys was at the Venice form workout that you guys have pop-up. So that's the last time that I saw you guys, but just want to say a quick thank you for hosting this. I got so excited when I saw you guys announce that you guys were going to do this. Any chance I can get to have a moment with you guys, I'm signing up for it. So thank you so much for doing this. It's like the perfect start to reflect on this year and then start the new year. I have 2 questions, if that's okay. One's a little bit more personal and one's kind of just easy and fun. But the personal question for me is, I recently graduated in May, and those from university, and those 4 years of my life were just like really, really busy, go, had like no time to really like prioritize anything else other than my school. And I graduated and so much has changed just from finishing school, moved in with my boyfriend, got a puppy, had this really big shift of like not realizing that what I had studied isn't really what the passion is anymore. And I'm now in a place where I have so much like free time, which I'm very, very grateful for, because there's no more school, no more homework, currently not working, and I'm like trying to build myself in other ways. But I guess with all this like free space sometimes, and from just being so burnt out from school, I have this like, I don't know how to start the next chapter of my life sometimes. Like sometimes I feel like I'm on the right track and doing all these things, and then sometimes I just don't do anything at all. So there's just like this guilt and feeling like I'm maybe not prioritizing the things that I really want to prioritize, and also just this huge shift of like being so busy to now having all this time. And if you guys have any advice, sorry if I didn't word that right, but if you guys have any advice on like where to start, or maybe some simple steps to kind of get me in that right direction, I would really, really appreciate that.
My brain goes to, what's your dream day? Like if you could plan out your dream day, how do you want to spend your time? And the answers within that are what your passions are, right? Mm-hmm. So when I had a moment like this, so before Form, another lifetime ago, I was running a very different business. And when I had an interim time of, like it almost felt like I was sitting on my hands, but what it also was a trust in the universe to show me what I wanted to pour into. And what was so obvious was that I needed to pour into self. And I finally had time to do that. And my days were just full of anything and everything wellness. So there was no coincidence that Sam became my best friend. And then I'm like, hey, can we like start a company together? So I really want to empower you to sit with what is your dream day, because I do think that kind of what I was saying to Catalina, like the white space is so needed, but then you have it and you're like, what do I do with it? I'm so used to someone else telling me how to live my life. How do you want to live your life? Like, what is your dream life? And I think that could come from visualizations. I think that can absolutely come from journaling. I think that can come from listening or speaking with expanders or vision holders who are living a life that you feel like resonates with how you want to spend it. But that's the beautiful thing about who we are as individuals, is we all get to make choices of how we want to spend our time. And those choices make up who we are as people. So Noelle, I feel like you went from really busy to now having this moment with self to say, who am I when I'm not just busy? And what does she actually like to do? What food does she like to eat? What music does she like to listen to? Who does she actually want to hang out with? Right? Like these big questions.
Definitely. That's very helpful. Yeah, it's just crazy from going to like schools your entire life, and it's like that's your identity, and then you're just like, okay, now it's over. Like,
right, like there's so much structure, and I feel like we've all been a part of some sort of institution, whether it's school, a corporate job, whatever it is, and humans actually really thrive with structure. And even creatives require structure, or else their thoughts would be chaos. So I would say borrow whatever structure that school provided you to feel good, but fill it in with the stuff that actually is where your dreams and your passions are.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very helpful.
Of course.
And the last question I just have for you guys is, stepping into the new year, do you guys have any non-negotiables that you guys like to take on before the year ends, or maybe like as the year starts? Like, is there something that you guys really like to do? Just, I don't know, maybe fun tips for us to take on.
Yeah, for sure. I think immediately what pops into my brain that Sam and I are doing so much on our side is like this cleanup. Like, where in every area of life needs to be cleaned up? And a lot of new systems and structure need to be put into place. And that can be personally, that could be within work, that can be, within every area of your life. Where does it need to be cleaned up? I set time in my calendar to truly sit and do this big reflection. So this is, you can do it on a walk, you can do it seated, whatever feels good for you, but it's asking what areas in my life need to be cleaned up for me to enter into this next year. And then from there, what systems now need to be put into play? What does my calendar need to look like? Who needs to be informed? And I think this is just like a reality of how can I go into 2026 feeling my best. I also think having, for us personally, like no phone days is really important. I think actually having that time to really separate from the world, from our phones, is something I always prioritize before entering into the new year. For you, whatever that means, day-wise, days, I think pouring into that time of, it could be about reflection, visualizing for the future. This is like my workshop time where I'm like soaking in what has been, but then I'm also prioritizing what I want 2026 to be.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It was so good to hear all your fun tips, and then I look forward to doing the journal. It's amazing. You guys put so much love into everything you do. So thanks for the advice, for the fun and loving words, and I love that you guys are doing this, and I hope that you guys do more of these.
I know. I feel like we need to do more of these. It's fun.
Yeah,
Sam, what have we been doing? Have a party on Zoom. I don't know if anyone else gets like the Zoom fatigue of it all, but we can add some more Zoom calls in if it means we get to hang out with y'all more. I know we are at time, and I don't want to forget to mention that everyone who's joined today, first and foremost, thank you. We love you so much. Seriously, like, you are our why. So thank you for showing up and for caring to better yourself, because it gives us so much purpose to do it alongside you. Sam and I just really want to let y'all know that our hearts are always open for you. Our DMs are always open. We're going to do this so much more. Thank you for showing up and for even asking us to do this, because it gives us, again, so much purpose and more to pour into, and something that drives us forward with so much intention. We love you guys.
We love you so much. Thank you guys again. Sam said it beautifully, and just want to really piggyback of how grateful we are. This year could not have been what it is without this incredible community. And remember, the light that you're pouring into yourself is truly maximizing across the world. So thank you guys for being you. Thank you for leaning into us, this community, this fam. We are so grateful, and we're so excited for all of us to hold each other in 2026. May it be the best year yet.
I can feel it. It will be. And Sam's going to lead us in January jumpstart to start. So definitely join the Forum fam if you're already in. We will see you January 5th for Sam to lead us through the best program. I know it's my favorite of the year.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you so much. We love you all so.
Love you guys.
Recording
Have the best
stopped.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being here. You listening to this episode is you saying yes to living the dream life you absolutely deserve. We release new Transform episodes every Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
Also, we would love to hear from you, so leave us a review. And if you include your Instagram handle, we might even reach out and gift you a complimentary Forum membership. You can also follow us on Instagram @Transform, and then @Sami Spalter and @Sami Clarke. We love you.